Mike Effing White.
Victory. Victory, victory, victory.
Mike Effing White.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I know. You know you're going to. Oh, against the Bears defense. Nah, dude, lit it up.
Yeah, Kevin, I'm glad you said that because I wanted to say the same thing. Like, I don't want to hear, and it's not going to come from us diehards. It's going to come from the outside football fan. They're going to say, oh, who'd you beat? You beat the 31st ranked defense, blah, 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 blah. People, I don't care what you say. From 2016 up until today, we were one of the worst teams in the league. And I didn't hear a fan base say, oh, yeah, we won the game, but it was the Jets. I at least I never heard that. You play who's on your schedule, you beat who's on your schedule, and wins in this league are hard to come by.
Yep.
Okay.
And now you get Minnesota and take care of
Yep.
business.
Yep. Now, Kevin, do we start the show right off the bat and drum up a controversy, or do we wait till episode 85 and see what the week brings? Because I said to you that if Mike White goes out there, I believe I said this, and he lights it up and we win this game, or maybe you said it.
How do you listen?
Can you go back to Zach?
I don't care if well, I mean, again, we'll see what happens in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Buffalo. But how do you go back? How do you go back?
That's what I'm asking.
How do you go? You don't.
And because now we're in the playoff hunt, we're the 7th seed right now. I believe no matter what the Chargers do today, I believe we're still the 7th seed.
Too bad Cincinnati, right?
I know. Does that change Salah's way? I guess it has to, right? Now that we're in the playoff hunt and we are in the playoffs, does that change our way of thinking now? How big of a string does Mike White have if he starts next week? Is he looking over his shoulder? Is it his game to win or lose?
I watched his press conference. This kid ain't looking he ain't looking over his shoulder. He's just happy to be playing. Like he said, I'm just happy to be out there having fun with the guys I work with every day.
Yeah, no. And Kevin, maybe it was just me. Maybe I'm one of these older Jet fans that are starving for some goodness, some great looking football. I don't care that it was against the 31st ranked.
No, who cares, man? It doesn't matter.
This team played like a team.
Yep.
Did you
I was a little worried there in the beginning.
Yes, yes. And
defensively. And Mosley, I heard Mosley afterwards, he even said, well, it took us like 3 series to get going. So
yeah, I have some numbers on that. We'll get to all that. But I lost my train of thought now. Like, you saw this team play as one. The defense excited for the offense. The offense excited for the defense. Both excited for special teams. The
whole attitude was different.
Yeah.
Was that the quarterback?
Yeah. Kevin, you go into listen, we all know the quarterback is the leader. And if the leader can't rally the troops, why do you want to go to war with this man?
You don't. Or if the leader thinks it's all about him.
Yeah. Like, I'm sorry, Kevin. I said to you again, they're going to show Zach Wilson all day on this screen. All right?
Mm-hmm. Now, and they did. And a couple times.
Go ahead, say it, because I'm going to say he looked like he did not care that was happening. He either had this look on his face like...
I think he had a look on his face like internally going, great.
Yeah, exactly. He had that look to me. Yeah, he had this look to me on his face like, when is this Mike Effing White going to screw up so I could tell everybody it's not me, it's everyone else?
And every good play was wonderful.
He was the one guy out of the 53 men that were on the active roster today, and he was on the sidelines. he did not look happy at anything that was going on.
No.
Now, maybe I'm reading too much into it.
No, I don't think so.
I like the kid more than you, but I don't like him as much as some of the other Jet fans out there who think up until last week thought his shit didn't stink and all it did was stink, But he did not look happy, And let me tell you, I wish we, and I say we, me and you and I, were a little more sophisticated with our podcast, because Elijah Moore's press conference with Janine Coakley out on the MetLife turf says it all.
He was juiced, man.
Says it all.
Juiced. Yep.
I'm taking.
That's what Jet football is supposed to look like. Yes.
That's what Jet football. That's what team football looks like. That were all. And if you don't think those were jabs at Zach, you're not listening. And I recommend everybody who follows us, likes and subscribes us, go back to SNY and check out that press conference.
Absolutely.
That was telling.
All you have to do is look at Wilson's comments after the game. Garrett.
Oh, what did he say? I didn't see them, Kev. I didn't hear them.
On the Mike White chance.
Okay.
Hey, he got what he deserved. That's what happens. And he also praised the way the team practiced during the week this week.
Yeah.
So
Mike White said and did everything in his conference that a leader does.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I posted a picture, and I'll send it to you personally, but I posted a picture. If you get a chance to check it out, Mike White was being interviewed by a Fox 5 reporter, and 3 or 4 other players came around to
razz him. Yeah.
I don't think I ever saw that with Zach, because I don't think Zach's won over this team yet. He may be the more talented player, but I don't think he's won this team over. And on this team, your quarterback does not have to be Steve Young. He just has to manage what he has in front of him and take pieces of what's in front of him and run with it.
Montana wasn't. I mean, he wasn't a big-armed guy, but hey, he had the smarts. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
So, not to compare the two, but
yeah.
Yeah.
And Kevin, we texted you and I. After those first 2 possessions, I said, look at this. This defense is going to shit today. This defense is going to shit today, because on the first 2 possessions, they gave up the field goal and the touchdown. And then what happened? They pitched the shutout the rest of the way.
Well, yeah, that's what.
The rest of the way.
What Mosley said. It took like 3 series for us to wake up. First to wake up, he said.
Yeah. And I got to tell you, I go back to what Salah said, that 60%. You could almost see it today. And again, people are going to say, well, Greg, what do you expect? They play the 31st ranked defense, backup quarterback, offense is banged up, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to hear it. You saw our Jet team get stronger as the game went on.
Yeah, especially the running game.
They got stronger as the game went on.
Excuse me, I'm a little under the weather here tonight. So
no worries. A good shot of Jägermeister and a Jet win will clear that all up.
Hey, man, it's all better when you win, right?
Yeah.
I mean, 22 for 28, 315 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Yep.
1 sack only. 1 sack.
No, 2. JFM and Bryce Huff.
No, on White.
On White, yes. 1, yes. Correct. Sorry about that.
So O-line played well.
Yeah.
Herbig was back.
Yeah, Herbig was back. Yep. So was Max Mitchell. And the offensive line looked strong today. Now, we have a test next week. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, the Bears and the Minnesota Vikings are in the same league. They're not. But what today proved was that a competent quarterback could run this offense because it's got weapons coming out of everywhere.
Yes.
Everywhere.
Yes.
Everywhere.
Hey, how about Bam Knight?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. What a shot. 14 carries, 69 yards.
Yeah. So Kevin, I'm going to read out these names and you tell me what they have in common. I'm not even going to tell you the numbers, just the names. Jarrett Wilson, Elijah Moore, Tyler Conklin, Zovan Knight, CJ Huzama, Ty Johnson, Michael Carter, Deep Red, Denzel Mims, Corey Davis, and Braxton Berrios. You know what they all have in common?
They each caught a pass.
They each caught a pass today.
Spread it around. Spread the wealth.
So we knock LaFleur, and we think LaFleur sometimes is overthinking things. You know,
it was as bad as some of the individual play calls throughout the game were. It was never the game plan in these games, really. It was the quarterback.
But Kevin, we have to understand sometimes a play call looks bad because the defense also stepped up and did its job. Man,
right.
You got to give also credit to the men on the other side, whether it's the Bears or another team that we're going to play. I get it. But, I mean, you look at these numbers today. Wilson, 5 for 95. Moore, 264.
Yeah.
Conklin, 3 for 50. Zovan Knight, 3 for 34. I'm going to keep going. CJ, 3 for 17. Ty Johnson, 1 for 16. Carter, 2 for 15. Mims, 1 for 11. Corey Davis, 1 for 9. Braxton Berrios, 1 for 4.
And the Yaks.
Yeah.
The yards after the catch, man, were insane.
Yeah.
Especially Wilson.
Yeah. No, agree. I'm looking at my phone because I got all my notes on this phone. Well, here, I got an interesting stat for you. Zach Wilson's passing yards over his last 2 games. That's the New England game and the Buffalo game, which we all said he managed well, and we thought this was his coming out party. He threw for 231 yards. Mike White in the first half today threw for 230 yards.
Yes.
So is Zach Wilson just an arrogant SOB that he's always looking for the home run ball instead of going to the checkdowns and doing what he's supposed to do?
Like we said Saturday.
Yep.
Yes, yesterday. Every quarterback that's come in has run this offense efficiently.
Yeah.
Josh Johnson. Yeah. Okay. Flacco. White. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Strebler in preseason,
I know, but that's
right?
Preseason. Let's
but still, the offense clicks.
So you know what that says to me, Kevin? We have to stop blaming LaFleur.
Well, yeah.
Every coach is going to have a bad play call. Every coach, there's going to be a time where you scratch your head and say, what was he thinking there? But we got to stop it because even Josh Johnson had a 300-yard game, even in a loss.
That's what I'm saying.
You know? So we have to, we have to stop and start to realize maybe Zach's not this guy.
Maybe he's not. This isn't his offense,
Yeah. Yeah. You
want all right, Joe. All right, Joe D, get on the phone.
Yeah, I'll give you another interesting stat. Joe Flacco this year in 3 games has thrown 5 TDs. Zach Wilson in 7 games has thrown 4 TDs. Mike Wilson at halftime threw 2 TDs.
Mike White.
Yeah. What did I say?
Wilson.
Okay.
Hey, man, a lot of Wilsons floating around.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Let me just read that. Joe Flacco, 5 TDs in 3 games. Wilson, 4 TDs in 7 games. Mike White, 2 TDs in 30 minutes of football today.
That's all you have to know. Hey, listen, we knew with competent, what did we say? Competent quarterback play.
Yeah.
That's all you need with this team. The defense is going to take care of the rest.
Yeah. Now, I understand Zach Wilson played a little against better defenses than what we saw today. But here's another stat. Jarrett Wilson had 2 touchdowns in week 2 from Joe Flacco. He had no touchdowns in 7 games from Zach Wilson. Maybe, Kevin, we were wrong for getting on Elijah Moore and not being a team player. Maybe he knew something we didn't know.
Maybe they all knew something we didn't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That now that look at where we're at. There had to be something we didn't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I don't know.
And let me tell you something. That first opening drive, when his worst pass was that little skip pass. But if he would
Right.
have connected with that, he would have been perfect. That and not only that, Kevin, that was our first touchdown on an opening drive.
Yeah. Yes.
You know?
All season.
Yeah, you're talking about White was 6 for 7, 69 yards and a touchdown on that opening drive for a quarterback rating of 147.3.
Love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, you know, what are you going to say? Even the rushing yards, they spread it around.
Yeah.
Everybody, you know, everybody got in on it. So,
Yeah. Yeah. That first scoring drive was 9 plays, 75 yards, 4 minutes and 48 seconds, 9-yard touchdown catch. That was perfection. Perfection.
Hey, man, let's go on to Minnesota.
Yeah.
And, you know, like I said after the game, I said, this should be normal. You should expect to win.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you want to be what you say you are and you want to do what you want to do, expect to win.
Yeah. And let me tell you, just off the top, because we were on the offense, how about Greg the Leg with that 57-yarder?
Right. I texted you. I said, what nice kick, man.
You know, I know he missed the 53
in the
one later
rain, no
on,
less.
but yeah, he missed that 53 later on, and then he had the box, which is not his fault, but
No.
even Greg the Leg man was booming him.
Yeah.
You know?
Some
And, you know,
kick.
and you gotta keep, and listen, we knock Braden Mann sometimes. I think the kid is a really good punter. I think he's one of the best punters we had in like forever, other than
everybody shanks it now and then, you know.
You know?
So, hey, a win is a win is a win.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. At halftime, like we said, Mike White was 16 for 20, 235 yards, 2 touchdowns. Wilson had 4 catches, 86 yards, and 2 TDs. Moore had 2 catches for 42 yards. And Knight already had 1 catch for 16 yards and 4 carries for 15 yards.
love it. That's hey.
Yeah.
That's a comparable offense, you know. Holy crap.
Yeah.
No, we're so used to 100 and whatever yards for the whole game.
I know.
You know?
But Kevin, like, and this coaching staff. The kid who played really well today and gets a start for me is Bam Knight. And me and you said about from day one, this kid needed to be on the team, which he was. But even on the roster, like I said to you, he could be our punt returner over Berrios.
Sure. And I mean, do you want, you know, he's a nice little player, Berrios. I mean,
but you're using him in that receiver's role, you know?
Right. So stick.
Yeah.
Right. You should have another guy back there.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's my opinion. But
yeah.
Yeah. So hey, what do you say? What do you say?
Yeah.
All phases played well.
And Mike White has made the list of Jets who've had 300-yard plus games. That's how starving we are for a quarterback, that he's tied for 4th on the list.
Imagine.
Yeah. Even though Sanchez years, he didn't have more than 1 300-yard game. O'Brien had 7. Joe Namath had 5. Richard Todd had 5. White had 2. And Dick Wood had 2. Mike White, in 2 of his 4 starts, has over 300-yard passing yard games.
How many 300-yard passing games does the other one have?
Zach? Does he have any? I don't know.
1, I think. The one against New England, right?
Really? Which one against New England?
I think it was against New England in the first game.
I thought his probably best game yardage wise was that game against Tennessee, but I would have to go back and look at his numbers.
Check it out.
He definitely doesn't have more than 1.
No,
more than 2, I should say.
No. And how many starts?
Yeah, 4. 4. Right, he started 3 games for us last year. Yeah. Yeah.
So what do you
Elijah
say?
Moore today, 2 receptions, 64 yards.
Yeah, but he played well. Another one.
Yeah,
He came
because
alive.
because
I know.
Moore, I mean, White did what you're supposed to do. He read the checkdowns. He didn't get nervous. He stayed in that pocket. Like there was a couple of times I yelled for him to run, but yet no, he didn't. He stayed calm and he hit the checkdown. He hit Conklin on a big one. He hit Moore on a big one. Huzama, even that one to Mims was a nice one. You know?
Yes. Yeah. Hey, man.
Man.
What I like to see. It's what I like to see, right?
Yeah. I mean, we held Chicago to 292 yards total. We had over 400 yards ourselves.
Yes.
466 yards, I believe we had.
Yep.
So they're 297.
As it should be.
Yeah.
Well, we said at the beginning, you should crush this team. What did I say? 30-3 or something like that, I said?
Yeah.
I said, but instead we'll probably have a nail biter 17-6.
Kevin, we did today what we've never seen our teams do in the past. I don't know how many times when you were Jeff, and even before I knew you
be able to play this.
Yeah, we sat here going, "Oh, the backup's playing. This is a winnable game." And I always go back to that Zolak kid with the Patriots marching down the field, or Barkley when he was with Buffalo beating us.
With the Bills, yeah.
Today we did what we
or countless others that we don't even remember.
Yeah, no, I know.
So yeah, hey.
I mean, listen to this, man.
I'm already ready. I'm ready to tee it up against Minnesota already.
Yeah. Now again today with the Bears' first 3 possessions, they scored 10 points, 120 yards, 22 rushing yards, 5 first downs. Do you want to know how the rest of the game played out? No points the rest of the way after those first 3 possessions, only 45 passing yards and only 105 rushing yards. They finished with 9 first downs.
I'm not sure when it was, but at some point, I think I sent you a message and I said, enough screwing around with this team now. Dominate.
Yeah.
Dominate.
But you see, that's where I think the Jets have flipped the script with that 60%, because they almost, it's like a car engine. Like the more it's warmed up, the more it kicks in.
Yeah.
The first quarter, they're slow. Second quarter, they start to feel it. And the third and the fourth quarter, they're a house possessed. You had
the captain of the defense say, took us 3 series to wake up.
Yeah.
Now why?
Well, I think it's all part of that 60%. They see what's out there. They don't want to give it all right away. They do enough to keep the game close. They see it out. They're starting to make the adjustments under Albrecht. And all the nonsense I said about him right now, I got to take back. I have egg on my face with that, because now you're starting to see what these coaches are when you have the horses that could bring your plan to life.
Plus, listen, even the whole attitude was different. The whole team played different.
Yeah. It was 53 guys playing as one. Like I said in my tweet, it was one dream
and having fun.
One goal, one drive,
And having fun. They all, that's to a man, they all said we're just out there having fun.
Yeah, and the fact that our rookie quarterback, some of us are still hanging our caps on that he's going to learn from this, sat there expressionless. Like he didn't give a rat's ass what was happening. Nope. He could give a shit because he's got money coming out of his ass. He doesn't care.
No, I'm telling you, the look I got with the hood on in the rain was great. Oh, that's
Kevin,
the last thing.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
I'm wonderful. I'm never going to play now.
Yeah. Oh, boy, I don't know if I could do this. I have to live up to this. Oh. And correct me if I'm wrong, Kevin. We spoke about on our podcast the other day, Josh Rosen coming from money and being in the same boat and never succeeding in this league, right? Did we not talk about that yesterday?
Mhm.
I just thought it was funny how the SNY crew brought that up tonight too in their post game.
I mean, maybe he was standing there hoping he'd suck. I don't know.
Yeah, he didn't have that expression like, all right, even though I'm not the guy, eventually I will be the guy, but now I need this guy to be the guy so our team could win. He had that look like, oh man, what's for dinner? It's cold here. What am I going to eat when I get home? Like, he looked like he did not care.
I don't know.
And maybe that's normal for a first-string quarterback. I don't know. But this kid had no heart or no excitement. I don't know. And I'm sure we don't see everything. The cameras don't show the sideline all the time. But believe me, if he went over to Mike White and congratulated him, gave him a hug after done, those cameras would have been on there like white on rice. And they weren't. They never showed any, the two together hanging out.
How about when your team's kicking ass, your hood is down and you've got a towel in your hand going like that or something?
Yeah.
He
didn't do that either. Nothing.
No, nothing.
No. Just let me give out these numbers for the Jet. Yeah.
And I understand it was raining, but come on.
Like a spoiled brat who didn't get his way in Toys R Us. That's what he looked like. Mommy said no Toys R Us today, and he was mad.
See, now I'm telling you, the look I got from him was like him sitting there and with every positive thing, every touchdown, I'm fucked.
Yeah. Instead of saying, I'm better than Mike White, I can make this offense look even better. And he didn't. He had this look like, oh, I don't even know if I could do that.
I'm screwed.
I don't know if I'm confident enough to make that throw. Yeah. Just some numbers here. The Jets rushing attack today. Bam Knight, 14 carries, 69 yards. Michael Carter, who went down with an injury, we'll have to keep our eyes and ears on that one this week. 6 carries, 21 yards. Berrios, 2 carries, 9 yards. And Ty Johnson, 5 carries, 62 rushing yards.
And with a nice touchdown run, too.
And I got to tell you, Carol, every time we say it, and we don't say it over, but we do say, like, we always say, oh, if one of the running backs is going to get cut, it should be Ty Johnson. And yet sometimes he'll make a bonehead play or a bend, but when he shines, he shines. Bart Scott is right when he compares him to Sean Green. That tough, compact,
right,
kick you in the teeth run.
Yeah.
When he scored that touchdown, he stiffed that guy to get into the end zone. That's the type of running you need, especially on a day like today.
So now, what was the stuff at the beginning of the game when Simeon was going to start? Then they said he hurt himself or something?
Yeah, supposedly he pulled an oblique about an hour before kickoff, and they were going to go with this Nate Peterson or Peterman.
Yeah, from the practice squad, I think.
Yeah, they brought him up a couple of days ago, but I guess that, well, I could care less about that. Simeon did well for the first 2-3 drives, and then the Jets settled down, figured it out, made the adjustments, and it was over from there.
And we were saying to each other during those first 3 drives, where's the defense? Where's this championship defense?
Yeah, I know. We were texting each other like, this is going to be either one of these 35.
Yeah, the captain said we had to wake up. So
yeah, this is going to be one of these 35-34 games, 20-16 games where we're nailed by, because it's typical Jets. We've seen backups. It's not like we're talking out of our butts. We've seen backups do this to us.
Yes.
Now they haven't.
Simeon's going to come in and have this career day,
Yeah. Now they haven't this year, knock on wood, because our defense is stout.
Yeah.
Here's the other thing. I didn't catch this. I heard a couple people text me and tell me. Did you catch Moose Johnson saying that our defense doesn't have that closer, that stopper?
Yes. That. He said it's a playoff defense, not a championship defense, because they don't have that one guy, one game changer.
What is Moose Johnson talking about? Can someone explain to me? This is why and this is football. There's nothing you can do because you can't.
I'm guessing he means like an Aaron Donald, a Von Miller. I don't know.
But that's because, and I'm not, listen, don't get me wrong. I'm not taking anything away from Aaron Donald. The man is great. But that's because these football shows and these football talk shows and the NFL, these are the guys they promote. Like these power rankings, these PFFs, they promote these guys. Meanwhile, they had to admit that a couple of weeks ago, Quinnen and I think someone else should have been ranked higher, but they didn't even watch the game. They were just going with the trend and saying, "Oh, he's going to
Yeah.
stink because he's a Jet." You
And
know,
plus, I was just gonna say, and plus they're Jets, you know. So
I said it to you yesterday. And that's what I'm saying. What is Moose watching? Sauce Gardner is a closer. Let me tell you something.
yeah.
And let me tell you, in my mind, Reed had his worst game today, and
Oh
it still
man.
wasn't that bad as what we
Right.
see.
Right. Man, how
Oh,
that one where he got beat for the touchdown in the end zone
that
over
it
his head.
skinned off his helmet. I thought he caught
Yeah,
that.
me too.
You know? I mean, this was probably Reed's worst game, and it's
Yeah,
still better than what we've seen.
sure.
Like Moose, after their third possession, or after their first two possessions that they scored the 10 points on, this team did not sniff anything. They did not sniff anything.
Let's go.
We don't have a closer. We don't have that sexy name like Aaron Donald, but Quentin
Right.
Williams is a closer. Bryce Huff is a bad boy.
Oh, right? Did you see
Bryce
that?
Huff is a
See
bad. That man
you
needs
see that
more
rush
playing
off the
time.
edge, man?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
In time, Jermaine Johnson and Michael Clemens are going to follow in those footsteps, and they're going to be bad boys too.
I'd rather have 6 or 7 of those guys in rotation than one.
Yeah. 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 I agree.
I mean, yes, Jermaine Johnson, you know,
yeah.
Williams. I mean,
Even Tenzel Smart today had that ankle
Lemon,
shaving tick.
Lemons, Hoff.
Oh, yeah.
Lawson. I mean, come on, man.
We're actually, for the first time, Kevin, we could actually say 12 weeks into the season, we're seeing a plethora of talent on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
The
Hey,
only downfall that's going to happen is in 4 years from now, when you have to sign half these guys. Can we afford it? Because all these guys, if they're playing like they're playing, you can't pay all of them, or you have to figure out how to pay all of them, is what I should say.
Well, I could be dead in 4 years, so I'm just worried about right now.
No, I get it. But when have we said, my God, these guys, and you can name them, Wilson, Elijah Moore, even Mims now, who else on the, I'm trying to think on the defense, Gardner, like these guys are here for 4 years. They're for 4 more years. They're our property. Well, Mims 2 more years. But you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
we don't even have A.B. Tucker in this lineup, and this offensive line got Max Mitchell back today, and got who else came back today?
Can you imagine Breece Hall running the ball back there? Holy crap!
Yeah. And as bad as Zach Wilson was last week, and he was, I think if Max Mitchell and Herbig were in that lineup, they might have found a way to run better. Because Feeney is not the answer. Yeah, he came in nice and filled in nicely for Tomlinson down the stretch, but
no. Yeah. So hey, great game, dominate.
And
a team like this in your building, you're in a playoff run, you dominate them. And
Kevin, these are the teams. If you want to get to where you're going, Kev, back up, worst offense. These are the teams you're supposed to put a hurting on. And the Jets did what they were supposed to do.
What would like a good? What would Kansas City or good when when the Bucks were the Bucks when last few years, or anybody like that? What would they do to these teams? The Packers when they were the Packers.
No, exactly. The Jets did what they were supposed to do today. I don't want to hear 31. You know how many years we were the 31st ranked defense or the 31st ranked offense? Forever. So I don't want to hear people say, oh, well, you beat the Bears. So what? You play who's on your schedule. Wins are hard to come by. We got to win today in a dominating fashion, and we just got better as the game went on. End of story. That's it for me on that, Kev.
And I'll see you in Minnesota.
Yeah. 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 Now, the only thing I'm going to say with that, are you surprised that that game hasn't been flexed?
Hmm. Do they have a certain deadline they
You're
have to
supposed to
meet to
have a
do it
week's
by?
notice, so it should come down
Okay.
or in an hour or two, or if it didn't
Yeah, hey,
already.
we'll see. We'll
But
see.
when they
Yeah.
were when they were talking about it on SNY, they didn't put it in as a flex game. They said we'll see you next week at noon for a
Too
1
early,
o'clock
maybe.
start.
Too early in the
For a 1
year, and
o'clock.
plus it's out of conference. I don't know.
Yeah, but they have to announce it soon. So if it hasn't been announced yet,
Yeah, I
maybe it.
wouldn't think. I would, like I said, out of conference.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know
Yeah.
who was who do you know? I don't have the schedule in front of me. I don't know who was originally scheduled for next week's
Yeah,
8:20
I don't
game.
know. I'm not sure. I'm
But
not sure. I'm not sure.
and how
But
about
hey,
before I let you go? How about Jacksonville Jaguars shocking the world
shocking.
and not only beating the Ravens, but doing it on the last drive and
Yes.
converting the 2-point conversion to get the win?
What have they got to lose, right?
Yeah.
Playing fast and loose. Playing
How about
fast, loosey goosey,
how
man.
about the Cleveland Browns
Browns.
scoring on their last drive and then winning
Yes.
in overtime?
Yes.
So now, do you have it in front of you? I wish I did because I don't want to spend a lot of time on this. If the Packers win tonight against the Eagles, they're pretty much back in the race, right?
I believe so.
No, but I'm sorry. The Packers and Bucks are different division. Never mind. Never mind. All I said was just rewind that.
Now, hey, I got to give you kudos. You had the Jags.
Yes,
I'm
I
looking at
did.
the picks. Look
Yes,
at
I
you.
did.
You picked up a game.
I did. I did. And Kevin, if Arizona wins tonight, I'll pick up a second game.
I see that. I see that.
Yeah.
I see that.
Yeah.
Oh,
But I'm
man.
not worried about that right now. Right now, we are
Enjoy.
yeah.
Enjoy.
Yeah. I
I
want to
mean,
come
I'd
on.
like to see the Chargers go down here, but
Yeah,
I
but
don't
they're
even know.
losing right now, right? 17-14, I think.
I can't see.
Let me check. Give me a second. Give me a second. I'll pull it up.
Can't see what it is. Yeah.
The Chargers are losing 17-14, 10 and a half minutes left in the third quarter. Seahawks are beating the Raiders at the moment 27-24, and the Chiefs at half 13-3. Hey Kevin, I don't want to piss off any Jet fans, but Sam Darnold won his game too
Yes,
today.
he did, didn't he? In impressive fashion too.
Yeah, he beat.
Yes.
And did you see what's his face? Reem Russell Wilson on the sideline. Who's the D lineman? Oh, I forgot his name. An ex-Jet.
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah. Oh man, I wish I could pull up the story real quick. I don't want to take a lot of time. See if I can find it just
An ex-Jet from like recent.
Yeah, Pennell.
Oh yeah, okay.
Mike
Yeah.
Pennell, yeah.
Mike
Supposedly
Pennell.
he reamed the shit out of Russell Wilson on the sidelines. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, Kev, 7-4. Next week, December football, where you separate the men from the boys. And who's on the big board? We're on the big board. Woo! Let's go.
Can we get to 8-4?
Let's go.
Can we get to 8-4?
Let's go.
Can you let that roll off your tongue?
8-4. I love it.
8-4.
I love it.
8-4.
Dare we dream, Kevin? Dare we dream? Yep. 8-4. Then Buffalo, who's Von Millerless, because I believe he's out for the season. They don't know the extent of if it's a meniscus yet, but it looks like he might be done for the season.
Every game. This is where every game.
Yeah.
Every week becomes huge.
Yeah. Yeah.
What I just said, it's out of conference. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
This is a huge.
And let me tell you, I hate to say this, but at least my thinking is we got to hope Buffalo knocks the shit out of New England next week, right? And put them two behind us.
Yeah, you
were the other way around. Yeah,
push them down.
Yeah.
Push them
or
down.
Are we better off if they finish in a tie?
Oh, yeah, yeah. You never know.
Oh man, my brother, what a going 7-4.
And like I said, wasn't it nice to like, oh man, all right, I can just sit here and enjoy this. I don't gotta be like, oh God, you're killing me.
See, and I'm the worst Jet fan because I have these stupid sayings like it's not over till it's over. And I only think it's because I've been traumatized in my younger years watching this team blow games
Well,
that they
yeah,
should have won.
man.
So
Yeah.
even though I wasn't confident until the 2 minute warning, I was like, but before we go, we did something that we've been asking for. We always say, come out and hit this team in the mouth, slap them in and let them know they're in our house.
Right.
And how about the first play of the second half? JFM starts it off with a 7-yard sack.
Loved it.
Beautiful way to start the half. Instead of
Message.
giving that team momentum and thinking they could drive on us, you slapped them in the mouth and they never recovered.
And I said, I remember texting you, and I said, do not give this team anything in any life.
Yeah.
Don't give them anything to be happy about.
Yeah. And think
because
about
it's
it,
raining. It's raining. They're 3-8. You lay the wood on them, man. Especially by the middle of the third quarter, they're gonna fold that tent, and that's gonna be that.
Now, the one thing I will give them credit for, and this is probably a little like Salah's team last year, they don't have the pieces, but they play for this coach. I know the score doesn't show it, and the first downs and nothing showed it, but they do give 60 minutes. They do fight hard for this coach,
Well, hey, that's what you're getting paid for.
No, I know, but how many times, Kevin, have we seen
dog it? Yeah, I know.
Put their tail between their legs and quit?
We've seen it up close and personal a lot,
Yeah, but today we set the tone in that second half with that first quarterback sack to start the half, and we never looked back. Mosley got the interception. Bryce Huff got the big sack. And you know what? You know what was really key, Kevin? If you go back and watch the second half, every time on first down, the Bears maybe got 14 or 15 yards, then the Jets came right back 3 and out. After that one initial first down, boom, they got them off the field. They cut it. They're like, all right, enough of this. We played enough with you guys. Let's end this, And great stuff all around. Everyone gets to start tonight from the top to the bottom.
And you can enjoy the rest of the games, the game tonight. Enjoy your Monday, too. Your Victory Monday.
Woo!
Hell
all right,
yeah.
my brother. I will see you next week, and we'll talk during the week.
It's a wrap. You guys have a good night, and we'll talk to you later. And until then, shut up. Nice win. We'll talk to you later.